Hi, I'm Rob. I make it better. That's what I do. Over a year ago or something like that, someone came to my YouTube channel here and he said, why am I teaching this grip that I teach, right? I teach you to put the thumb on the side, put in the pattern out, the handles up, and the guy you see here, Hans, is using a jumbo grip and 2 layers of grip tape, right? And then you put your right hand. And why do you teach that? Because he said, every tuber is using the modern PK grip. Yeah, I don't teach that because it's shit. It's just stupidity at its best. The PK grip make you lose 50 meters from tee. It makes you stuck and develop compensations. Every tuber you see swing, they don't know that, are compensated and stuck. I can tell every tuber, if they came to me, I can point out what they're doing, why they are stuck, and what to do to fix that. The tuber gurus can't do that, right? And that leads to the problem that people, like this guy was telling me that every tuber is using it. Did you know that the #1 junior player in the world right now, Miles Russell, he's 15, 16 years old, #1 junior in the world, he's not using the modern PK grip, he's using a variation of this grip. If you didn't know that. I have a dad, he's living, down under in, I think it's Australia, New Zealand, whatever, right there. And he was playing and he wanted to play with his kid, but his kid was hitting much longer, right? And he started to work on my stuff, change his grip and stuff like that. And doing the work, he gained more distance. And he's able to, play with his kid on, similar conditions. Now, recently his kid asked him about the grip and he changed his grip to this grip. And I asked, his dad, because his kid is not, talking to me in that way, and he said, well, the kid hitting more fairways now, same distance, but more fairways. And I said, well, that's a pretty good deal, change your grip, hit more fairways. Wow. And the reason why tubers can't have connection is because of the grip. They don't know that. So they can never find it, they can never fix it, and no PGA Tour guru, whatever guru, teaching tuber golf can fix that for you as a two pro, just so you know that. Anyway, every year I go out here trying to do a reminder. So you change your grip, boom. You do a tilt and lift, which is this without the ball. You can do this without the ball. There is no inside takeaway, that's where you put the camera in this angle. So you check yourself that you're not doing any inside takeaway. It won't feel good. I had a guy 3 years ago telling me he's gonna go all in on my grip and drills. And after a week I asked him, can you post it? He posted it. He was not doing my instruction. I said, that's not my instruction. And he said, well, it feels bad doing it. And I said, yeah, so? Are you going to follow my instruction or not? And he was like, yeah, oh yeah. And then he, started doing what I told him to do, to follow the instruction, doing this stuff. 6 weeks later, around 6 weeks later, he had gone from 240 yards that he'd been at for 2 years listening to PGA, and now he was at 350 yards. So that's 100-meter increase in 6 weeks for this guy, right? And I haven't changed anything for him since then. And his swing has, changed on itself, on his own. Because if you start telling people what to do, you don't need to teach them all this shit people. You can't keep a left arm straight, you can't keep your head still, stuff like that. So, change your grip, do the drill, tilt and lift without the ball first, because this is how your brain works. As soon as you put the ball down, and you're going to try to do the drill, this is why you put the camera in that angle behind you. Because as soon as you go up here, right, and you're going to do the drill like this, as soon as you look down, your brain has adapted see ball swing. That means you're going to do your bad habits. So that means that when you start doing this with the ball, most people then will go, oh yeah, boom, and do the same thing they usually do. Right? The reason why people hit fat is because of grip pressure with the modern grip. People don't know that. That means that when you have a modern grip, no matter what you do, you will increase the swing pressure on your hand and tighten the grip by default. This is why people learn to hit fat. They don't know that. So, modern golf grip, PGA stuff, shit. Anyway, so what I added this here is something very simple, straightforward. Everything is the same. We just do this, the same thing now with a closed stance without going inside, and an open stance, very extreme, as you can see, hopefully. You just stand right there and take a step forward. Very simple. Very simple. And number two thing that you do with this is relaxing. As you change your grip, it won't feel good, and so on, right? Anyway, so then you start doing that and relaxing. You take, in my case, a very close stance. You just go, oh, okay, I'm going to do tilt and left. Because now your brain, and you have to adapt to this thing going. And you might not be able to have power or whatever else. But what you have to do is learn to relax. Because that's the key pointing. And this is to, because people have so many bad habits from modern golf. I can't fix them all, trying to tell people this is what you're doing, this is what you need to do, because that doesn't work. What you have to do is follow the instruction I laid out here on YouTube, and then you'll keep doing it. And then at some point when you're doing this, you go back and and the second thing with the right hand and the grip is that you want to make sure when you do this, because there is a thing here with that most people may not be aware of, that when you take the grip and you put your right hand into the modern grip position, your right elbow can do this. It can turn on its own axle, right? So what you want to do is to turn your right hand a little bit until your elbow kind of can't do that anymore. That will help a lot of you people, especially who you do over-the-top habits. That will help you with that shit. And then once you've done the drill for about 6 months or whatever, and you get some improvement, and you start working. And as I said in the previous video, there is no rotation in golf. Because, I'm so tired today, but it is what it is. If you didn't know, I have something called ME/CFS. People call it long COVID now. You get an infection, and then your body doesn't recover energy as it used to. You get acid buildup, you get, people call it brain fog. And for me, it hits coordination a lot. As soon as I grip a golf club, my brain kind of, go on fritz, which that is. So when you practice, make sure you check your grip and right arm, and that when you practice this stuff, there is no rotation, because here's what happens. The hips are located in your legs. They can't rotate, right? Pelvis won't rotate in this way. It's not how it works. All they do is a turn, right? All I do is turning. Right? So if I have rotated my pelvis here into that position, I can't actually hit the ball. Right? And all I need to do to fix this is just do the same thing and just turn a little bit faster. And if I turn too fast, I would either, slice it, do some other shit, or top it, usually, either a little bit thin. So all you, pay attention to, be relaxed, and when you do the drills, and focus on one of them at a time. Don't try everything at once, because that won't work. And then you go, when you practice, if I practice in an open stance or closed stance, I'm just gonna go, oh yeah, I need to turn, relax and turn. At some point when you're doing this, that's when it starts to feel natural. And that may take for some of you 6 months. Other might take a couple of weeks. I don't know, people are different. And that's what you do. And at some point, when you do that extreme, things, open or closed, at some point it gets better. And the point of this is not to hit the ball. This is a drill. Most people confuse learning by hitting the ball perfect. That's not how learning works. Learning works by difference. At some point when I do this, my brain will adapt to what I'm doing. Without me needing to, fix anything and such. All I need to do is to follow the instruction change my grip, pay attention to what I'm supposed to do, a tilt and lift or a lift and tilt, all right. And then, use a open or very close stance, and then keep doing it. And then at some point, you remember to relax. And the second thing is all they do is turn. But people don't understand language. And I'm too tired now to hit balls, actually. I don't want to do that. So what you do is to relax and then turn, because if you try to rotate, you're going to be out of position by default. This is what a lot of people have, that goat humping and such, because they believe when a 2-pro guru, or a 2-pro even, tells, oh, you need to rotate. And I said, what should I rotate? Oh, your hips. But the hips are located in my legs. I can't rotate them because then I have to rotate my legs, otherwise they won't rotate. What are you talking about? And I said, what kind of education do you have? Oh, I have a PGA education. How long have you been teaching? Well, I've been teaching for 30 years. And I've been teaching 2-pros. Okay, and you don't know how the body works, apparently. When I tell PGA 2-pro gurus that, they just look at me and go, who the fuck are you, man? I'm a PGA teaching pro. I have a PGA education behind me. I'm teaching 2-pro. Who are you to question that? And I'm like, well, the guy who actually knows shit. And then I prove them wrong. And then I prove them wrong again. Because everything they say won't work the way they say. You can't keep your head still in golf. Do you know why? No, of course not, because they don't know. You can't keep a left arm straight. Do you know why? No, of course not. They don't know why. They don't know how the golf swing actually works. They teach you to be stuck with the modern golf grip. As an amateur, you lose 50 meters from tee. As a 2-pro, you're probably going to have, back surgery, because a disc or two may, go to shit. Tiger Woods, Salatoris, there's some other people out there in the world that, have that shit going on. That's what PGA will teach you. Break your back, lose 50 meters from tee, and develop this ever quest because it must be a secret, right? There is no secret in golf. This is obvious. It's just skills. And the thing here that you do yourself a service is change your grip and do the drills. It won't feel good. That 50-year-old who's starting doing, the 240 yards, starting to do it, he just blunt told me, this feels like fucking shit. And I don't want to fucking do it. And I said, well, that's my instruction. You have to do it. 6 weeks later, he's at 350 yards. That's a 100-meter increase. And I have not done anything else since then. That's 3 years ago. I haven't told him to change anything else. He's hitting a few golf balls. He go play, and he's happy. Anyone will be if he hit 350 yards. But did you know that what PGA teaches you is this? I'm going to end this. I'm so fucking tired. My head is just going like that. That's one of the problems with the illness. I can't play golf because of that. It's just one of the things. PGA instruction, 99% will never reach scratch. So if you want to learn golf, you play golf and as an amateur, you can forget scratch. 99% of you will never reach it because of PGA. 90% of you will never reach single handicap. And the metric that is behind all that is distance from tee. That means that a 20-year-old will hit around 240 yards of average. You go a little bit older than that, you're at 220 yards. And in your 60s, you're probably at 200 yards to 180 yards, because now you're a senior. I actually have a guy down south in Europe. He told me that he was playing a golf course, and he is able to hit 320 yards now and then, carrying. He actually posted yesterday. He was playing a par 4. It was he hit a drive that was give or take 320 yards. And he said he had the wind in his back, but if you hit 200 yards or 220 yards, it doesn't matter how much wind you have in your back, because your ball will probably go like that too, with a slice or a hook or something like that. That you can hit it straight into the middle of the fairway is probably not going to happen, right? Maybe 1 out of 100 shots. Oh, I hit one in the middle of the fairway. Whoa. Instead of doing it all the time. And he is 66 years old or something like that. 67, 65, I don't know. I don't keep track of that shit. And he's at 260 yards plus. So he's basically 50 yards longer at least, or maybe even 60 yards longer than the average 66 years old. And he's not, He's not a guy that goes to the gym and he eats perfect, checking his calories, and he's just a normal senior amateur at 260 plus yards because they listen to what I've been teaching here on YouTube. Imagine that. Then you don't need to imagine, you just need to do the fucking. It won't feel good. It's gonna feel weird, and you're gonna have resistance against it because no one else teaches you this shit. I'm only teaching people what I know already gonna work for you. That's how I function in my role there, right? I can't teach people shit. It's not in my when I was working with people, clients, I can't do that either, sadly. I was doing a workshop, I can't do that either, because of it. When you have an illness that I have for 25 years, and again worse, you can't do things people take for granted. But this, if you do this, you will get better. You will hit more fairways, you will play better golf, and more fun. Changing the grip alone will do wonders. Like the dad, his kid changed to this grip, and he hit more fairways. That makes golf more fun, right?